to business. Just there's smoke still billowing out.
So guys, as you can see, me and Shubham, we are constantly monitoring the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. So we are just watching this news on YouTube on Republic World. So yeah, let's watch it together, and then we will also discuss, we will discuss the analysis. We will discuss all the analysis why Russia is doing this, and what is the current stand other countries are taking to defend Ukraine or to help Ukraine.
Out right now. This is the crater that has been created. The impact of the attack that air defense system यूक्रेन इस्तेमाल करके रूस के जो वॉर प्लेन्स है उसे गिराने की कोशिश कर चुके हैं। अब तक के आंकड़े की अगर बात करें तो करीबन 1000 ऐसे रशियन सोल्जर्स हैं जिसे मार गिराया है।
Bro, these pictures are horrifying. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm also, continuously from last few weeks, I'm continuously watching news. And if I tell you about, very honestly, I generally don't watch news channels, right? But just because of these news, and when, Russia, declares that they are going to invade, Ukraine. So since then, I just, watching continuously the news and seeing all the times updates, what exactly the things are happening. There are a lot of people, a lot of innocent people who are dying. They are into fear. And one thing, which makes me what I thought, like when I saw like Ukrainian, common people, when they are also, taking the guns in their hands and saying they will protect their country. So that is, which is something, a good stand from their countryside. And the only thing which I'm thinking, like most of the people are, believing like whether like it's going to be World War III. So I know like a lot of people are thinking. So what do you think, Atisha? Is it going to be a World War III? Whether,
what I really, really, really commend is the courage Ukrainian peoples are showing. In fact, the courage is coming from the top leadership. Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine, he himself is on the streets now, with a gun in his hand, fighting from the forefront, right? Instead of escaping the country like we saw last year when Taliban invades Afghanistan. So the president of Afghanistan, took the first opportunity to flee from the country, right? Because he addressed the nation as that, my life is at danger. I'm the number one target. So I need to flee off, otherwise I will get killed. But on the other hand, we see Ukrainian President Zelenskyy saying, I'm not going anywhere. I will fight till my last breath, and I will keep on defending Ukraine in whatever capability I can do it. And he is also urging all the citizens from 18 to 60 years that please, come help your country, pick up the guns. We will give you ammunition. We will give you firearms, help us, help the nation to fight against Russia.
Yeah, so this is, I think, like, which is very ridiculous, right? Because you cannot, like, we are living in, 2022, like the year, and like we have got a lot of advancement in terms of technology, in terms of each and everything. And when I talk about these type of countries, so I think it's, it's very far that we need to keep, maintain the peace rather than going on a war. Like a lot of people have, lost their lives. So I was just watching the news. So I think like number goes more than 300 plus. So they are the innocent people. They are getting killed. There are a lot of, military men as well from the Ukraine side as well. And even, Russia is also, facing the same thing because their soldiers are also have been killed. So I think this is something which is, it doesn't make sense to me. And and even like people are making memes as well. And some are, thinking like, I saw like a lot of people's who are old age people. So they are just discussing whether it's going to be a World War III. So they are just laughing, and they are just also, a bit curious about the things because, generally, if I talk about, in terms of leaders, so I think like this is the only action which Putin can only take, right, Atisha? From my opinion, how I
Totally.
know about Putin, because he's really a kind of person who's a bit fearless. And even when he started a war, when he declared a war, at that time also he mentioned that if someone is going to interfere between this, so they are going to
Right.
face the consequences. So that is
Consequences, right?
something,
He said in a
yeah,
very
exactly. So
planned and
this,
very, fearless tone that if any country, especially pointing towards United Nations and NATO, if any
exactly,
country, tries to interfere between our internal matter, Ukraine and our matter, the country or the person will face severe consequences. That
so
kind of
true.
the video which we released, that was really, really feeding video for many of the countries, right? Because now, see, Russia has a nuclear power, right? Russia has a nuclear power. He has all the nuclear weapons at his disposal. He and Putin is a dictator, right? He don't need to have, get the votes of his, members on the parliament, right? He's a sole decision maker, right? Whatever he decides are the final words, and the army will do exactly whatever he says. Unlike India, where, to get a single law passed, you need to have plenty of votes, you need to have plenty of, discussions, right? So we are lucky in a sense that India is a democratic country, unlike Russia, which is a, pseudo democratic country, right? Canonical democracy, but, it's still under a dictator called Putin, Vladimir Putin.
Mm. Hmm. So these things are going on, and even a lot of people these days, I can see like a lot of people discussing about this thing only, because this is something which makes a hype everywhere. So let's see how it's going to be, and I think like so by today only they just they I think they are try to capture Kyiv by today, right? The capital city of Ukraine. So that's
They
what
try to
they are
capture it.
saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. As you can
Let's
see
see
on the
how it's
screen
going to
also,
be.
bro,
Yeah.
lot of sanctions are being put on Russia,
Exactly.
from all the assets being frozen in United Nations and NATO countries to now, as you can see on the screen, SWIFT, which is a method of transactions, right? International transactions. So
Yeah,
you, Russia,
and I was just I was also hearing the news. So like, their minister or someone from Ukraine who just wrote a letter to Tim Cook that they can stop the app store
mm,
in Russia. So he wrote us. So still, there's no any kind of reply from Cook side or from App Store side, but still we are waiting like what kind of decision he will take. And as we mentioned in our tech weekend, that how Elon Musk has to an action, that's really something uh, which I think it makes something that I think it's a respectable thing, for uh, if you have power, you should you should help others as well. So the way he just come up with the Starlink thing,
right.
and on the request of his minister from Ukraine, so he just released and activated the after 10 hours only of the Twitter post. So that's a
Right.
good thing, I think, Atisha. So let's
So
see
many
how it's going
countries
to
are
be. And
coming,
also,
many
yeah.
countries and many individuals are coming to help Ukraine. Australia is, agreeing to help with ammunition. So is Germany. US has already granted a $1 million, amount to Ukraine to help with the military equipments. So many countries are helping whatever means they can help with.
But
So
still,
yeah,
Atishay, many countries are helping, but मुझे एक चीज लगता है कि they are not coming in the front, right? If they can help them in the
right.
front very straightforward, then that would make more sense, right?
So they're
Still,
playing
right now the
really safe,
Ukraine is
right?
alone and they are
Right.
fighting, alone. So that is something which is not digesting to me, and I don't like this kind of thing, because they are, at the kind of position when you are at a lower position, I mean lower power position, and
Yeah, absolutely. And they're
uh,
still fearing Putin. See, the reason they won't want to interfere in Ukraine war is directly is because, see, Russia has a lot of nuclear weapons, right? Let's say if Australia, Germany, US, all the NATO alliances countries, they any one of the country, try to send an army directly in the war zone, Russia can immediately, do a nuclear missile attack right in the nation, to warn the nation that how dare you send an army to Ukraine, right? We already told you to stay out of this. So that is the reason they don't want to actively participate, although indirectly through all the sanctions, through all the all the ammunition and firearms aims they are doing, countries are doing, they are indirectly helping Ukraine. Globally, all the countries are together, they are united to help Ukraine, right? Except few countries like Kazakhstan, Belarus, this other country called Crimea. So they are allies of Russia at the moment. They're helping Russia. Even Belarus. So in Belarus, Russian army has already set up a base through which they're attacking Ukraine. So Ukraine is being attacked from three sides: from Russia, from Belarus, and from Crimea. So that is how the Russia has planned their attack. Three front attack to Ukraine. But yeah, Ukraine's एक बात दाद देनी पड़ेगी. Ukrainians are very they're
Exactly,
very
exactly.
strong, and they're very strong and fearless, and they're defending the Ukraine huge army, right? Loaded with ammunition, loaded with firearms. So they are still
Yeah,
able
exactly.
to stop them at some point. North May, so if you see on the map, North Ukraine abhi tak capture nahi kiya Russia ne. They have captured south, they have captured east, but west and north ka part is still uncaptured. वहां पे अभी भी Ukraine soldiers are defending the country, and they're defending the borders. So that is really commendable, the kind of courage, the kind of fearlessness Ukraine citizens and Ukraine soldiers are showing to protect their country in this difficult times.
Exactly. So I think there are a lot of memes are also revolving
Right.
around on social media. So I don't want to take those things in a funny way, but still like things are going on. So we can also show like, do you have any memes as well, Atisha, on how
Yeah,
the things are going
we were
on?
looking at this meme, before we start this call. So as you can see on the
Yeah.
screen, guys, so in this meme, there are three countries on the top: America, Ukraine, Germany, and Russia, with very fearful eyes, looking at a very, looking at all the countries, staying at all the countries, looking eye into eye. Abhi kuch bhi kar sakte hain hum log, right?
So that's a meme of Golmaal. So that's
Yeah,
makes
so
me a bit
this clip is
now.
from, this picture is from the movie Golmaal 1, original Golmaal. So as you can see, America, Ukraine, Germany, they are on one side, and on the other side, Russia, looking at them, staring at them. How dare you look at me? So yeah, Russia उनको डरा रहा है अपनी आंखों से, and they are looking, and all the countries are, they are still, looking what to do and how to react.
So guys, that's all I think for today. And what do you think? Like, how you take this war, and do you think whether Russians, whatever the Russians are doing, whether is it correct? Like, what's Putin's step towards Ukraine? And what's your thought? Whatever it is, just write down in the comment and let us know like what exactly you're thinking on this war and how you are watching this news and what are your thinking on this.
So much,
To
guys,
you
for
and
watching
take
this
care.
video. Thank you so much. And all the prayers, all the best wishes goes to Ukraine's citizens and soldiers. May God help them in these difficult times. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this.